Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing the Division 2 on the Steam Deck. So this game has anti-cheat, but it was a few months ago whitelisted for Linux. Please Ubisoft now put Rainbow Six Siege as well. That would be nice to play Siege portable, despite being bad at the game. Anyway, so native resolution here, but we're going to do more tweaks. Then in graphics, by the way, DX11, DX12 stutters quite a bit, and it uses more GPU and all the VRAM, so no need to use that. Then in here is basically medium settings, 75% resolution. You might say, oh man, that's too low. Well, in this game, it's actually pretty good, especially on the smaller screen. And it really makes a difference. You can also control the sharpness if you want to. Particles on medium, fog on low because performance, medium reflections, medium local reflections. So there's some screen space reflections and cube maps going on, which looks pretty good. Vegetation on medium. You can put it on low if you see drops in places with lots of foliage, but so far it's been so good for me. Parallax occlusion mapping, yes, 8 times anisotropic, subsurface scattering, high ambient occlusion, depth of field disabled. Object detail is very important, I recommend 20 or below. 20 seems to be the good in between. Extra streaming distance, unnecessary. Lens flare, yeah, why not. Water on medium, no chromatic aberration. Texture resolution, 512. Sky textures, high resolution, yes. Terrain on medium, and anti-aliasing on ultra. So those are basically the settings, so let's get into it. Alright, welcome to the Division 2. So this is the very beginning of the game. Why did I choose this? By the way, I'm using mouse and keyboard for comfort, then we're going to jump into handheld mode. But as you can see, we got reflections. On the video you probably don't notice, but the resolution is fine. A soft game. But my target here will be 40 FPS, 60s was impossible because CPU limitation and the resolution had to be super low. And still we're gonna maintain 60s, so that's pretty unfortunate. But as I was saying, I'm playing the beginning to show you some foliage, some combat with enemies at the beginning. I think it's a good place to give it a test, that's what I usually use. And this game I think is perfect for portable. But as far as I know, you cannot play offline, so that's a bummer. I mean, if you share your internet data of your phone, your mobile data, using the personal hotspot and connect to your phone, so you give internet to the Steam Deck, you should be okay. But what bothers me is that, as far as I know, it's always online. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. So again, my target is 40 FPS, 30s you can do it on high if you want to, but I think this is a game that 40 FPS makes a difference. The smoothness is just something else. Since we're connected to a capture card, we're on unlock frame rates, but once I get into handheld mode, I'll show you a 40 Hz option and we'll lock it to 40. So this part, good amount of effects, good amount of enemies at the very start of the game. But as you can see, we get drops into the upper 30s. Again, in this area was to be expected. So yeah, it was the perfect place. And when you're playing at 40, really 1 or 2 frames less shouldn't be a big issue. Especially with the frame rate being locked. But sometimes we get spikes on the CPU usage, which makes a stutter happen for a microsecond. So yeah, let's swap into handheld mode and I'll show you my other save with more progress plus the 40 FPS cap. One sec. Okay guys, welcome back. So now we're in portable mode. And well, as you can see, I locked it to 40, allowed tearing, refresh rate to 40. So we're good to go. It kicked me out of the game because I was using my dock, link in the description, pretty cheap one, works great. And I had my internet by wire, and well, when I disconnect the dock to disconnect the monitor, I also disconnect the wire, so I lost internet, got kicked out. That's my biggest issue with this game is that And I'm sorry, but the gameplay will be terrible with a controller. But as you can see, it looks great on the Steam Deck screen. Maybe you cannot notice it because you don't have your hands on it. But the 7-inch screen, great, with 75% resolution. It's not FSR, no DLSS or anything. It's not even NIS or XeSS. But in this game it's done pretty well actually. And again, locking it to 40 will help the GPU and CPU not do a lot of work. A lot of unneeded work, I would say. 40 feels super smooth. Way better than 30. And if you see the screen flashing a little bit, that's the camera. Because the camera records at 60 Hz and I'm showing you 40 Hz directly. So the camera sometimes doesn't like that, so it flickers. So it's just the nature of recording a screen, unfortunately. But again, the game looks great on deck. My only issue is you need to be connected to the servers at all times. Oh yeah, that's a bummer. But going back to the performance, 40s, pretty smooth. Sometimes again drops into the upper 30s very fast. When something like a CPU usage spike happens, like it's about to happen right now there. Usually when traversing and going at certain distances. In my opinion, not a big deal. This time around in this area, this is the area that I had some of the most trouble with when I benchmarked the game in the past. So there's effects, there's also rain, which is random. In the previous part, without being in handheld mode, it was basically daytime, without rain, without fog, so it was easier to render. So again, the problem is upper 30s, no big deal, 2 frames. But some spikes in the frame time because CPU. If you rather have 30s, put it on high, lock it to 30, but it doesn't feel right. I don't know. Anyway, let's swap to my other character that is further ahead in the story. Alright guys, welcome back. This is my actual character. I'm in the White House. This is the interior of the place we were trying to get into at the very beginning. Good thing it's raining, so less performance. And again, in here, when you first load in, you're going to have some stutter because CPU. So let's get outside. On this save, I've been doing more quests. I've been running around Washington more often. But in here, there's no combat, so I kind of ignored this part. But this is why I lowered vegetation. See the amount of vegetation here? If you put it on high, goodbye frames. You'll be down below 40 at all times. So that's the trade-off. But honestly, at least for me, it's not a big difference from high to medium. The game still looks great on Steam Deck. Especially on the smaller screen, it's harder to notice. And if that means 40 FPS, I'm all in. Alright, let's see if we can get some enemies on site. I really forgot. I don't know how to play this with a controller. This is my first time playing this with a controller. Let's see. No, this is not what I wanted to do. Let's heal. Yeah, well, let's keep going. I'll find enemies in the meantime. There we go. It was easy to find them. I just had to shoot in the air. Oh god, this is not going to be great. Oh, never mind. We're good. Now we get out the big guns. Just 2 atoms. Anybody else? Whoops. Yeah, I love that there's fog in this part. If you increase the volumetric fog, this part will be basically a nightmare. To let it simply. So I expect better performance if fog doesn't happen to be at the moment you launch the game. Because again, it's random. I might load this save later and it's a clear day with just the sun. So this is a perfect stress test actually. But I really enjoyed this game on PC. The thing is, I didn't want to spend the hours grinding. It got better with patches on that side, on the progression side of things. But I think playing it here would be way better. The thing is, when you lock the Steam Deck and you want to go somewhere else and then come back and launch the game, it will probably have kicked you out of the server, so it loses that huge feature of the Steam Deck of coming back to your game right away. But to play on my bed, this is perfect. I got to get used to the controls though. But it seems pretty easy so far. So yeah. So that's my advice, basically medium to low settings. Oh, hi there. I missed. Never mind, I didn't miss. Oh, come on. I forgot to take cover. So not much else to say really. The first time you launch the game though, it will ask you to log into Uplay or Ubisoft Connect, what it's called right now. So that means you have to log in once, then each time you launch the game you don't have to see Ubisoft Connect at any time. So it's only on the first launch. On the first launch you'll be stuck on Ubisoft Connect, so you just close the game, launch it again, and it will go straight into the game. It takes a few seconds because it goes through Uplay in the background. But after that, you're good to go. So yeah, that's it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. Again, if you want to play at 30 FPS, that's a non-issue. Just lock it to 30, put it on high, and you're good to go. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see ya next time. Bye guys.